Not only do I have to tell him I posted this video that he asked me not to, I have to tell him that it's now in a news article. We've gone completely viral, and he's the crying guy on the internet that all the girls love.
I don't have TikTok. So she shows me a video of my crying face with 4.5 million views on it and a Newsweek article of me crying. And I'm like, the one video that I said don't post.
This is a Life of Marin podcast couples series where different couples spill the tea about their early days of dating. Today's couple, Madison Perrott and Vince Cicchi, met on Hinge on a Thursday and were living together by Saturday. A year and a half later, they are happier than ever. In this episode, they discuss the good, the bad, and the ugly of a whirlwind romance and ultimately what happens when you meet your person. The Life of Marin podcast is presented by MAAR Dating Club. MAAR Dating Club is a matchmaking service that represents New York City's most eligible singles. MAAR Dating Club works with professionals who don't have time or interest in dating apps, but still are genuinely ready to find love. We are a boutique firm that focuses on quality matches and guides and coaches our clients throughout the process. Use the link in the episode notes to book your introductory call today. Welcome back to Life of Marin podcast. Today I have Madison Perrott and Vince Cicchi. How was that, guys?
Perfect.
A for effort.
Wait, now you guys say your last names.
Madison Perrott.
Okay, and?
Cicchi.
Cicchi.
Perrott, Cicchi.
Cicchi and Perrott.
The bird.
Yeah.
So who are you? Can you guys intro? I want like age, profession, where you live.
Love. I'll let him
Start.
kickstart this.
Okay.
So my name's Vince. I'm 31, going on 32 now. And I live in Flatiron, New York. I work in finance. And that was about it until I met her.
Okay. And who is Madison?
I am Madison Perrott. I'm recently 27 years old.
Ooh,
I live in Flatiron with him, and I'm a singer-songwriter.
amazing. Okay, so everyone's dying to know, how did you guys meet? What's your story?
I'm going to step in and just take that
You
one
know what? Go
instead.
for it.
Yeah. So I had a little bit of a work trip in Dallas. And when I mean work trip, I actually lived in Dallas for about a year.
Okay.
And I moved there with my girlfriend at the time. I was still working in New York. It was just remote from Dallas at that time. It did not go well, and we broke up. So about 2 weeks left in Dallas.
Yep.
You know, I'm already have the apartment signed in New York. I'm moving back, as most single 30-year-old guys would do at that point. They download Hinge. I decided to set it for New York in the location thing, and just started, setting up dates. So I moved back to New York on a Friday, moved in through the weekend, and had my first date set up on a Thursday.
Okay.
I asked my friends, like, hey, which one should I go on a date with?
Which one?
Which one?
Which one?
Like, what the hell is this?
I'm sorry.
It's the
I didn't know
truth.
you.
It worked out. It worked out.
And my best friend actually pointed at her, and he's like, her. I'm like, done. Okay, set it up. So we set up a date on Thursday night at the Ivory Peacock in Flatiron.
That's a great
Just so
spot.
happened to be 2 blocks from his apartment.
I don't know what
Very
you're talking about.
convenient. Very convenient for you.
I was like, this is amazing.
And we met right at the front lobby there, and she walked in, and the first thing I said was, wow, I love your eyes.
I have shit brown eyes. Like, no one has ever said that to me in my entire life. I was like, all right.
That was my
check.
first pickup line in like 4 years.
Yeah, you needed to work on it a little bit.
You have great eyes.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love them.
You're lying, but I love you.
No, I'm serious. I also have brown eyes.
I mean, like,
It's a family.
You both
Yeah.
have beautiful eyes.
Thank you.
oh, see, there he goes. Gets you every time because no one's ever said that
It
before.
does kind of get, yeah, we're like, we're not used to this.
Exactly.
But we went to the Ivory Peacock. We had a great first date. We left. It was about midnight. Again, like she said, it was a couple blocks away from my apartment. So I was like, hey, do you want to come have a nightcap? And she's like, no, I want pizza. So at
We're not
midnight,
hooking up. I want to get a slice of pizza. Sorry.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
she
have
looked at me and
respect.
she's like, I'm not hooking up with you, but I will go get a slice of pizza. And I said, okay. So we got the slice of pizza, and I was like, you want to eat it inside my apartment? And she looked at me with these eyes. She's like, I'll eat it in your
No,
apartment.
actually, he said, do you want to get pizza and eat it at my apartment and not have sex? And I said, amazing. Sounds good.
Done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Done deal.
And did that happen?
No. Yeah. Yes. I was a
Okay.
respectable lady.
Okay.
That's all we did.
Okay.
Was the
And
pizza.
so then we'll fast forward to the next night.
Okay,
Wait, so you guys had 2 dates in a row?
So she did. We ate pizza at my house.
Okay.
We did not have sex.
I love
She
that.
did sleep over in my bed, and I thought it was really weird. She took a toothbrush, and I
I
was
said,
like,
I need pajamas. I need a toothbrush.
She
I'm
made
moving in.
herself at home.
Exactly.
I've known this person for 8 hours, 6 hours at this point.
Yep.
Okay.
And so the next day she leaves in the morning, and then that brings us to Friday night now because that date was on a Thursday.
Okay.
So do you wanna walk them through Friday?
Okay, so let me give my story now because
Yeah.
he gave his.
I want your side.
I was in a almost 7-year relationship,
Mhm.
long time, from 19 to 25. Broke up with my ex. It was a nice, amicable breakup, but still very, after 7 years, it's dramatic.
Yeah.
I packed up all my things. I moved from Tampa, Florida to New York, moved in to an apartment, and I was going on dates after 7 years of being in one relationship. I was having fun. I had this guy had a roster for the first time in 7 years. I was
Yep.
vibing, thriving, felt alive in this city.
Wait,
But-
how long were you, when did you break up and then when did you meet him?
I was single for probably about 6 months, 6 or 7 months.
Okay.
No intention on being in a relationship, was just having fun. And then, but I started to do the thing where, all right, these guys kind of suck in New York. Like, it was, my friends who have been in relationships here were like, here you go, get used to the New York vibe. So I had dated, okay, this is kind of really not very, this is pretty petty of me, but I keep my height at 6'3" and above. That's just my thing. I'm 5'4", I'm a short girl, but I like tall guys.
Okay.
So one night, I'm so sick of these 6'3" dudes that are just, ew. I move my thing down from 6'3" to 5'10", and he's the first guy to pop up on my Hinge. So I was like, cute smile, he's gonna be short, but whatever. I did this myself. I go on a date with him. He says to me,
5'10" is not short.
I agree.
Okay. Anyway, moving on. Go on the first date with him. I'm vibing. I'm having a good time. He does the whole corny thing about my eyes. I'm like, whatever. He's cute.
Mm-hmm.
We end up, he's got the same birthday as my mom. His last name is Cicchi, which is my childhood nickname that nobody has. We're Italian. We've got all of these things going on. Next thing you know, we've been on this date for 4 hours. He's like, we talk about how you don't hook up on the first date if you're going to be in a relationship.
Yeah.
So I said, I really want pizza. Do you want to go? He said, do you want to have pizza and not hook up at my apartment? I sleep over, nothing happens. The next day, I've got another date with another guy that I've had for a minute because I've got a roster. I'm a cool New York City girl
Yeah,
now.
you are. Giving Carrie Bradshaw over
Exactly.
here.
I'm like documenting the whole thing. And so I'm on my way to this date with this guy in this Uber, and I swear to God, it was like a movie moment. I made the Uber go the other direction, didn't even tell him. As I'm on the way to his apartment, I call him, and I'm like, about to tell him I'm on the way. He doesn't pick up. And I'm like, oh my God, I just called him after knowing him for one day. He's going to think I'm friggin' crazy, never call me back. He then tells me later that you knew and you had canceled. You were like, I got to go home.
I was with a couple of my guy friends. We were
Okay.
at dinner, and I didn't want to be seen picking up the phone of her calling just because I was like, this was like the random girl that slept over last night. Still at that point.
Just slept over, did not sleep together.
Yeah. You guys had pizza together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to call it.
Pizza.
So she did come over that night.
Okay.
There was no pizza that night though.
Wait, but did you skip the date?
I did.
So
I canceled.
You had this what?
This was a guy that was on my roster for a
Okay.
minute.
And you just were like, enough with this guy. I want this.
I
other guy?
literally I ghosted him. I never talked to him again. He hit me up like, hey, are you coming over? Not really cool. I'm so sorry if you're watching this.
Yeah.
I realized
R.I.P. It's okay.
I have sinned. R.I.P. I didn't care. I knew. I just had this feeling. It was very Carrie Bradshaw moment, actually. It was like a big moment,
yes,
you know?
like you turned the car around.
Yes, turn the car around. I was like, go to West 22nd.
It must have been late.
I was drunk as fuck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was.
Yes.
Yes.
It was.
It was
at least midnight. At least midnight.
Okay, I was like, this doesn't sound like a 6 p.m. moment.
No.
Yeah.
This was at
It
least
was
midnight.
like my adrenaline was popping. I was feeling the vibes. And he ends up calling me. I'm in the Uber. I'm like, oh my God, I'm on his way to his apartment. He's not picking up the phone. This is so embarrassing. He's never going to speak to me again. He calls me right back. He's like, hey, sorry, I missed your call. Meanwhile, he was already prepping to go home. He had gotten the check. And I was like, this is so crazy. I was on the way to something else. Are you free? I want to come over. He's like, I'm free. And we've spent every single day together
since
and
that
was
day.
a year and a half ago.
Okay, so you went over.
Yeah.
And then you guys hung out. And then, like, were you guys living together right away? Like, tell me more about how it progressed. Like,
Yeah.
did you ask her to be your girlfriend? Like,
That's really
like,
interesting.
did you guys go through the steps, or was it like an instant relationship? I've never heard of this.
I know. It's so weird.
So I think the best way to describe this is when she did come over that second night, and there was no pizza, and we did hook up that night.
Mazel.
At 3 a.m, she decided that, I don't know. I feel like you need to tell.
Oh
this
my
part
God,
of
is
the
this our
story.
first? This is our sex story. Mom
Yeah.
and Dad, don't listen to this podcast. Yeah. So obviously, things happened at 1 a.m. on the second night.
On a Friday night.
And any of the girlies that deal with ovarian cyst problems will know my pain. So we hook up that night, and all of a sudden, I'm in so much pain, like so much unbelievable pain. I've never had this happen before. I'm dying. And he's like talking to me. He's being really sweet. He's like, so like thinking about this and that. And I'm not responding to him. And I
have no idea what's going on.
He's like, something's off. She's not talking. And I look at him and I'm like, I'm so sorry to do this. I need to go home.
At this point, it's 3:30 in the morning.
I need to go home right now. Something happened. Like, I'm in a lot of pain. I'm grabbing my shit. I have his t-shirt on. I think I had your shorts on. He's like, are you sure? I'm like, I have to go home. He's like, I'll call you an Uber right now. And I'm thinking, this must sound like such bullshit.
I was also thinking this.
Yeah.
It was bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, you thought she was having a mentee B or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
I got
God,
the ick.
she's regretting hooking up and she's leaving at 3:30 in the morning and I will never see her.
Oh no, you're like, how
Yeah.
did I perform?
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
Damn it.
I had burst in ovarian cyst. I feel like the comments are going to be like, way to go, Vince. Like, great job. Like, awesome.
First night.
Anyway, I popped like 800 milligrams of ibuprofen. I was doubled over in pain at my house. My mom, I woke her up at 3 o'clock in the morning because I live with my mom. And she was like, what happened? I was like, I popped an ovarian cyst. She's like, you got too many issues for me. Good night. Like, bye. And the next morning I texted him and I was like, hey, so sorry. I'm feeling so much better. And
I literally took a picture of where she should have been sleeping and said, I literally miss you. Why aren't you here?
After,
at this point, it's been 48 hours of even knowing her.
I think you gave yourself the ick.
I probably gave myself
Yeah, he was
the
like,
ick
this is
saying that.
disgusting. What are we? And I felt the same way.
But
like,
she came back over in the morning, and at that point, I genuinely, she never left in a good way since that day.
He built,
we pretty much moved in together that third day.
Okay,
give
so
or
you
take.
went back in that morning.
Yeah.
And did you guys ever have a conversation of like, what are we doing?
Not in the beginning, it was literally like instant relationship. We just hung out every day. He wanted to see me. I wanted to see him.
Yep.
We would go to happy hours after work. I would stay over every night. By the end of that first week, we were like, we took a pause and we both looked at each other. He sent me a very long text.
Oh, the long
text.
Did you think he was breaking up?
Yes. I'm at drinks with my mom and a friend of
no.
mine, and I get it. I could, the energy you could feel when it started, the
pulled
fade.
back.
Yes, the fade is what I like to call it. I'm like, oh, he's fading me, whatever, fuck this dude.
Okay.
He sends me a long text message, and it's basically like, I really like you, I can see you as my girlfriend, but I'm not ready for, what did you say, merging calendars and knowing where we are.
Merging calendars.
And I was like, I literally chugged my wine, and I was like, I'll call you later. And I texted him later, and I was like, dude, I just got out of a 7-year relationship. I am not trying to be all up in your shit all day long. I don't need to merge calendars. I'm not trying to take away your freedom. I want to fit into your life seamlessly.
Yeah.
And if it feels like I'm not, just let me know and we'll go our separate ways. And then how did you respond?
Yeah. That was a good one, Madison.
Yeah. At that point now, I thought she was pulling away. So then I obviously had to backtrack.
Right. Wait, he pulled back and then you pulled back.
Yeah, and it wasn't in like a toxic kind of way. It was just like, holy shit, we just met a week ago. We've spent every day together. Things are progressing super fast. He just got out of a relationship. He's trying to have his independence. So am I. He wanted to just set the stage of like, I don't really know you, and I just don't want you to expect that I'm going to be around 24/7, and this is how I am normally.
Yep.
And I felt the same way. So how did you feel like after?
So after that,
Yeah, you're like, oh shit.
we decided to make a pact that we're like, okay, we'll hang out on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I don't know.
So you
I'm
like
making that
created
up.
space.
We
Yeah.
set
Yeah.
rules.
And now keep in mind, we've known each other for 7 days at this
Right.
point still.
Okay.
Right. So we go, okay, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's what we're going to do.
We'll hang out on those days.
Yes.
Correct. So this
We're-
is week 2, and we hung out. Now, Monday, Tuesday rolls around. It's fine if we break it. Okay. Then Wednesday was planned. Thursday, no, just come over. It's fine. So we spent Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Wednesday, Friday, the whole week
Yes.
together. And then this is now at the end of week 2.
Okay.
I think that I love her at this point.
And are you
And-
gonna
and
tell
I-
her?
And I want to tell her. I also know that she loves me at this point, and I
How do
think
you
that she
know?
wants to tell. You could feel it at that point.
Okay.
I can't describe it, but that's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
So we're laying in bed, and I'm throwing you under the bus. She actually just came out of nowhere and said, "I love you."
Oh my God.
On day 11,
Mortifying.
12.
You
something
said
like
Mortifying.
that.
I said it.
What possessed you? No, I'm just kidding.
I
Exactly.
I don't know. I literally just ew.
It
This
came
is
out
so gross.
Yeah,
I
I hate younger us.
I hate.
like a year and a half ago.
Like a
too.
year and
No,
half
it was
Yes.
so because that's not me. Like I'm a Gemini. I'm a double.
Okay.
I am literally a double Gemini. Like no, you're not gonna get that out of me.
Yes.
I'm like ride or die.
Like,
goodbye.
You. Yeah.
Not me at all. Like I don't play like that. And then all of a sudden, a week after knowing this guy, we're laying in bed and I look at him, I'm like, I just have to tell you, I think I'm falling in love with you.
You didn't say it like that.
Okay.
How did she say it?
No. How did I say it?
You said, "I think I love you."
Oh, so awful. And what did you say? He looked at me, he's like, I was gonna say it, but I wanted you to say it first. And then after that,
Mm.
the next day or so, we're saying I love you, but it has
It had no depth.
no depth to it. We've known
Because
each
you've
other.
known that person for
11
2 weeks.
days,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I looked at him one night and I was like, I gotta tell you something, and I hope this doesn't like make you feel a type of way, but we've been saying I love you and I don't feel there's any substance to it at all.
Yep.
And I hope that doesn't upset you. He's like, I'm so glad you said that.
I took a deep breath. I was like, "Oh my God, thank God." I've been saying it too, and I just I think I love you, but I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I just met you.
This is so chaotic, and I love it.
So chaotic. And this is
I've never been more confused in my life.
yeah, same.
Totally.
Literally same. So we had a thing for a little bit. It's really corny and I don't even, we would say
Oh.
LY.
No.
That's disgusting.
Yeah,
I
stop.
mean,
Fucking gross.
I'm shocked.
We backtracked.
LY?
We
But-
backtracked.
So
But you
we
did,
actually
which is
backtracked
smart.
on saying "I love you," and
Yeah.
we just said "ly"
I like
for a
that.
little bit.
Trash.
Because it gave
Yeah.
you just a little bit of room to breathe.
If we
Yeah.
would have
And
just
process.
Yes.
taken a breath, we wouldn't have needed to do all of these things, but we didn't. We had to. And then, yeah, so that's.
Were you guys ever nervous that it was gonna be like such a fast spark that it would like burn out quickly?
Never.
You weren't?
I thought genuine, generally,
Yep.
I was thinking that, but I
Yeah, like,
never
generally
felt it.
speaking,
I
yes.
never
Right.
felt it.
Right.
Realistically, the chances of that were so high. And all my girlfriends told me the same thing. They're like, chill, like you just got out of a relationship. This is probably just like a fling. And I was like, no, you don't get it. I'm like hopping on this train and it's taking me somewhere that's really fun and I don't want to get off.
And you're like, I like it.
I'm like, I like it.
But it also sounds like, and I don't think either party was doing this, but it's like a little bit of love bombing. But it wasn't because the intentions weren't nefarious. I don't know if that makes
1,000%.
sense.
That
Yeah.
makes total sense. Every single thing we went through could be considered love bombing.
Right.
Like for sure. But it was a mutual feeling that, and there was no malintent to it at all. We were just
Okay.
being honest about how we felt. But if any of our friends were like, this person is saying these things, I'd be like, ew.
Yeah. Wait, so did you guys ever have like any official conversations like boyfriend, girlfriend? Also, you said you moved in after 7 days. Like, I
Yeah.
want to know how that came to be.
So I mean, from that second day, she was pretty much just sleeping over every single night.
Okay.
So after probably 3 weeks, I was like, all right, I guess there's this person living here now. And I'm
He built me a
I'm-
closet.
yeah, I'm super OCD.
You were definitely sending the signal, like
Yes.
that you live here.
Yes, of course, and I wanted her there.
Yes.
I absolutely wanted her there.
Mhm.
I'm just super OCD, so this person's stuff is in my closet. Her things are in the bathroom. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, my OCD's taking over.
And
at this
he's
point.
very like,
So I have
Yeah.
this little trash room where like
Okay.
the trash chute is, and I mean it's
like a pantry.
like a pantry kind of thing.
It's a beautiful
So
closet.
I ripped everything out of it, and I built like coat racks and little like
Shelves.
little shelves and everything, so she could move all of her stuff into this little trash room closet, and that's still her trash room closet to this day.
Yeah.
But it's really nice.
It is really
New York
nice.
City, yeah.
And it's like my space. Yeah.
Wait, okay, so you guys officially did move in after 7 days. Did you talk about it? Or did you just do it? I'm just curious.
I know. It's
I'm
like,
such a literal person. I'm like,
no,
we need to
I
talk about
understand.
everything.
Yeah.
There is
Stuff.
nothing that is like, there's nothing that makes sense about this. Like, no, there wasn't a conversation.
I think there was one conversation, like in about 3 weeks in,
Okay.
where I was just like, listen, I want you here every day. But I understand that you still have a year and a half left on your lease that you signed. And like, I'm not going to make you pay 2x rent in New York City.
Yeah.
And then she couldn't really break it because her and her mom signed the lease together.
Yeah.
So I was just like, just live here. I mean, just keep paying rent there, but just live here for the next year and a half.
Yeah.
And granted, I was like 20 blocks away. Like,
It was a walking distance away.
I was 20 minutes away from
Yeah.
his apartment, was where
Yeah.
my apartment was. So he was like, you're close. I also did not want to break my lease, even if I had the option, because that was crazy to me. Like, I had lived with my ex for 6 years. Like, I was not looking to move in legally. You know, like that
Yeah.
contract
Like,
would
you
have
wanted,
made
like,
it.
the safety net
Exactly.
of your apartment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it was always there.
Yeah.
But I
totally.
would say that conversation happened about 3 weeks in. That's
Okay.
when I built a closet. And I think that's also when we just kind of looked at each other one night. I was like, so you're my girlfriend, right? And she's like, yeah, you're my boyfriend. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I don't really
Do you
is there
remember
more
when
drama to it?
No, there's not. Do you remember when we both looked at each other and we deleted Hinge together? That was the second night.
We did.
I
yeah.
totally forgot about that. We were
Okay.
drunk as fuck in bed. I think this was night 2 or 3. This was after the popped ovarian cyst. And I was like, you had said, so you're not seeing anybody, right? And I was like, no. And we just passed the phones. We just deleted Hinge.
Yeah.
And we were like, fuck it. Let's do this.
You guys are a movie. Also, so you guys basically had your exclusivity talk on night 3, which is kind of badass.
I mean, was it? Yeah.
I feel like it was a slow grind from night 3 to week 3.
Okay.
Multiple conversations happened in that 2-week span, but yeah, by week 3, all the hard conversations were done
Yeah.
and
And a signed,
finalized.
sealed, delivered.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm yours.
yeah.
So, what was the transition like when you did move in together? Because Harrison and I moved in together, and the first month was so hard, but then we're like amazing now. Did you guys have any transition periods or moments where you like panic, like, what are we doing?
Yeah, we definitely did. I think it wasn't the moving in, like it wasn't, his was combining lives, I feel like. I don't want to speak for you, so I'll let you go after if I'm wrong. For me, it was not the merging lives. It was realizing that I am in a relationship that I very much want to be in, that is very healthy, that is allowing me the space to be who I want to be. Yet all of my past behavior that was unhealthy started to come out. It's super chill. I'm going to pick at him about something, or
Okay.
I want to start a little bit of something like this, or he's not giving me what I need in a certain moment and I am not communicating to him what I need. So I'm going to go cold or not talk to him.
Yep.
And there was a lot of not healthy behaviors that I had to come to terms with because he was so healthy in how he would approach me about it of, why are you acting like that?
Yeah.
What did I do to make you act like that? Let's talk about this. And I basically just had to come to terms with, I was a very unhealthy bitch and you're giving me the space to be so healthy and so loved and so open. And I just had to come to terms with a lot of my shit. And it made me a better person and it made us better.
I think you were kind of getting at this.
Yeah.
Your first month with Harrison living
Yes.
together.
Yes.
So our first month,
Mm-hmm.
let's call it weeks 4 to 8 at this point. Now. Like first
We go by
full,
week.
So crazy. Yeah.
like really living together.
Okay.
For whatever reason, she decided she was going to take on the housewife role.
Wait, I actually did that for a month with Harrison. And I think that's why our month was horrible.
Oh my God.
So this
I
was
forgot
a
about
horrible
this.
month.
Yes.
I forgot about this.
I was like, I one day came home, like my laundry was in the dryer, the dishes were being done. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't complain about this.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is great. But at the same time, I'm like, I wanted a partner. I was like, I'm really driven in my career in finance. And I was like, I thought you're really driven in your career in music. I was not looking to like retire and get a wife who's doing my laundry and doing the dishes. This is kind of weird. Not
Wait,
gonna lie. And I
did
had
it too, though. I did it
Yeah.
too.
Babe.
We're in this together.
Babe, what is wrong? Did we go back to 1950s?
Something happened.
I don't
in my
know.
brain, and then I like woke up one day and I'm like,
what the fuck am I doing?
Yes. I was like, this is disgusting.
This is
I've never-
We have rights. We can't be doing that.
I have a job, like a full-time job. Like what?
So we had a conversation where I was just like, listen, like, I love you and I want you to be my wife someday, but like, I don't want you to be doing the laundry and the dishes while I'm at work and I come home and this is like 1950 and you have dinner ready on the table. Like,
I can't even cook.
like
That's good.
not what I want. So that conversation did happen, that was the rocky part of month one.
Yeah.
Similar to you.
It was me being what I used to be in my last relationship. Like I was bored out of my mind. It was very much I worked and I cooked and we would do the boring ass shit. You come home, you eat, you go to bed and you want to die. And with him, it didn't have to be like that. And I was like, wait, I can be independent, do my own thing and not have to worry about housewife duties. He was like, I don't want to see laundry. We can do laundry elsewhere. Like, we'll figure laundry out. Just do you. I want to see you shine. And I was like, did I just like win a prize? Like, what the hell is this? Wait, but you did the same thing?
I did. And I feel like he was more attracted to me when I was just doing my thing and
Yep.
like focusing on myself,
Definitely.
and my
Yes.
career, and my life,
Yeah.
rather than like serving him, which was really not my style.
Anyway, right?
Yeah, I'm like, why am I doing that?
I know. It's
But-
almost like I feel like innately as women, we feel like nurture.
Yeah.
That is how you are going to make them happy, even though that's not who I am anyway. And I know you're not that way either.
Yep.
But it was like just innate response. He is a nice man. We are in love. I cook
Like
and
I
clean.
live here now.
I
so
live
now
here.
I serve him.
Yeah. And he was like, fuck no, we're done.
No, I like that you like actually called it out and had that conversation.
Yeah.
I feel like it's very self-aware of you.
I think that was I feel like you have something to
No.
say.
I was like, great job.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Well, then all of a sudden, no dish has ever been done or no laundry has ever been done since
Rock
then.
out, ladies.
Created a monster.
You don't
Yeah,
yeah.
I probably should have,
No,
You
the
don't have
best
to
type.
tell me twice.
No, totally. Like, don't make him tell you twice.
No,
Yeah.
I'm good.
Okay, so what makes you two compatible?
I think this was a pretty good segue because she mentioned something where I just want to see her shine. And I mean that she is my biggest supporter and I am her biggest supporter. Every time she has a little gig, I love sitting in the front row and I like record her. I'm like, as a person in like finance in a more professional field, I think what she does is fucking awesome. I love the creative music thing. I don't get it. So it's something new and exciting that she brings into my life every day.
Mm-hmm.
And I think really for me, she is my biggest supporter. I'm her biggest supporter. I just want to see her succeed. I know she wants to see me succeed. And that's the foundation of our relationship.
Yeah, I think support for each other, huge. Definitely one of our biggest like compatibility factors. Independence. You cannot tell either of us to do something. Like we know how to not manipulate, but get what we want because, manipulate, I guess. If you tell him, I want you to do this, he's like, get the fuck out of here. No. If he tells me the same thing, goodbye. We are so independent that it works perfectly because we know just leave each other alone. I know I have friends that's like, I have his location. I follow when he gets home. I know every aspect. We don't have each other's locations. We do not want to know where we are, what we're doing.
But you're right next to me like 95%.
Yeah, I guess
of the
that's,
time.
Yeah.
but the trust part of
There's
it is
trust.
huge and
Yeah.
the independence is huge. So it's like, I don't need to have tabs on you all the time. He goes to work sometimes, doesn't come home till 9. He's like, we had work. I had a work event, met this guy. He tells me all about his day, about his night. I'm like, cool. I actually had this. I did so. Independence. But I also think a big thing with us is that we genuinely enjoy the same things.
Okay.
This was like, it's very small, but in my last relationship, my ex loved the beach. Loved to just lounge at the beach, lay in the sun, listen to music. And I would pretend like I liked that because who doesn't like lounging and laying at the beach?
Right.
I fucking hate it. I hate it. I have ADD. I want to be nowhere, laying anywhere. And I hate the sun. I'll admit it. I hate the sun. Hey, he's the same exact way. He's like, oh my God, I have to be doing something you have to change what you do every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Right?
I hated laying on the beach. Like,
so
I
small.
love sitting at a beach bar and watching TV and drinking and looking at the water. But I hate just doing nothing laying on the beach.
Yeah.
And I know that's a very little thing, but.
No, it's a good example though. Like you genuinely are friends, I feel like.
Yeah. And we like to do the same exact things. And I think we approach things very similarly too. Like we have the same thinking about things. We're very different people, but how we approach a situation, we always come to the same conclusion about it.
I think on the friend part of it, we were talking about this earlier.
Yep.
Where in my opinion, there's kind of 3 buckets that you fall into when you start a relationship, and it's your 2 best friends, or your 2 lovers, or your best friends and lovers. And that 3rd bucket, I think, is the ones that really make it, like you and Harrison, myself and Madison. You need to be best friends, but also lovers. Like, I think she's super hot. I love her. But she's also like the only person I want to go hang out with when we're not doing anything.
Like you want to spend your downtime.
She's the first person like I think of to ever do anything with.
No, you can tell you guys are best friends, but also there's chemistry there, obviously.
Yeah.
And like I think that's kind of like what everyone wants, that combination. And we were talking about this earlier. We're actually at the bar, which is why we're a little tipsy.
We're a little drunk.
But how like there are those people where you can just tell like they fell in lust, and then 2 years later it's like they have nothing in common. They don't even like each other.
Which frankly was like my last 2 relationships. Madison is probably my 3rd real girlfriend in my life, and my other 2 were my best friends. I have nothing bad to say about either of them, but we were more best friends. So we fell into that first bucket, and we didn't have that loving lover connection.
And it gets so boring.
You need it.
It's so boring. Like even when I'm annoyed or I'm in a bad mood, and I look at him, I'm like, ugh, I would fuck the shit out of him right now. You know what I mean?
I kind of want to go into your viral video. So you guys had a very viral video where Vince was tearing up while he was driving because he was so happy that he was with you, Madison. Can you guys tell us, like, set the scene, tell us about that video, the origin story?
I tell her all the time that I love when she puts these little, like, videos together of us because I like going and looking back at them and going, wow, that was really cool. Like, I'm so happy we did that. So she's always recording stuff, but they're more just like of what we are doing. And I don't really have to try in them. I'm just,
You're
doing
just a
whatever.
participant.
I'm just doing whatever I'm doing. I'm not real big on like trying to act in the videos or like do little TikTok videos with her. But this specific one, I'm driving down the road and I looked at her and I'm just like, honestly, I just love you. Like, this is so much fun. So happy to have this partner with me. And like I started to tear up and she's recording it. I saw her kind of recording it and I'm like, listen, I've never told her this in my entire life to say, don't post this. I don't care what she posts. This one time I said, do not post that video. I don't like how I was crying. Just don't post it.
So remember how I told you, if you tell one of us to do something, we do the complete opposite? So I said, don't worry, babe, got you. Posted that shit 2 minutes later because it was adorable.
You're like, type.
Type. All of a sudden, I turned my phone off. I'm like, it's not going to get more than a couple hundred views. 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 4 million. I've got a news outlet reaching out. I've got other people reaching out. I'm like, not only do I have to tell him I posted this video that he asked me not to, I have to tell him that it's now in a news article. We've gone completely viral and he's the crying guy on the internet that all the girls love.
I don't have TikTok. So she shows me a video of my crying face with 4.5 million views on it and a Newsweek article of me crying. And I'm like, the one video that I said don't post. That happened.
So funny.
I was like, oh my God, I got to call him. He's going to be so mad. But he wasn't. He was like, you've got to be joking. I'm like, no, but listen, it's going to work out because I don't know. But
I feel like it did work out because honestly, it was a beautiful video.
Yeah.
It was, and
I get why you said don't.
It was a very raw, it was a raw emotion.
And I looked at him, I'm like, how often are guys looked at as being lame or you can't cry and you shouldn't cry. Like, no, plenty of guys are in love, get emotional. Like, you know?
Yeah.
So I was really trying to cover my ass.
Like, how did it feel to be so vulnerable and viral at the same time? Like, how was that for you? Because you're this investment banker, this finance guy.
You know, it's funny. I didn't care.
You didn't?
And it was only because of her.
Okay.
I think if that would have happened in a prior relationship, I would have been so mad. Because I think I would have felt weak or like I was being made fun of. But honestly, everything that I do with her, it feels like it's just like an adventure. And this was just kind of like another adventure that we were kind of going through.
Yeah.
And I thought when she started telling me it was getting so many views, I thought I was going to get mad. Like I felt myself wanting to get mad. I'm like, no, I'm fine. This isn't that bad. And I started to kind of like it and was getting involved with her.
He was excited because the majority of the comments were like, I love an emotional, mature man. He's like, yeah, that's me. Like,
I was like, I don't necessarily want to. Yeah.
And they're like, he's so cute. Love his smile. Love his eyes. He's like, thank you. I'm like, yeah, I get it. All right.
No, I get it. And there were like a few comments, I think, that were like, he's for sure cheating. He's crying from guilt.
Yes, there were some girls that were so triggered. And trust me, I get it. I have friends that have been there with absolute narcissists that have cried and been assholes and cheated. But I was like, I'm sorry for you. I'm sorry that happened to you, but he's not cheating. And if he is,
he's definitely not. Yeah.
Good luck. Good luck to him.
I do think that those comments are true, though.
Okay.
Not necessarily like to our situation, but if I think back to prior relationships, if I was crying on a video like that, it was probably because I felt guilty about something.
Okay.
The truth comes out.
Yeah.
I do think that the majority of guys probably do feel that.
Okay. You think it's more when it's more manipulation, the tears with men usually?
Or literal crying because you feel bad for what you did. Is I think what those comments were getting more at.
Oh, got it. Like the only time they've seen
they're
him
like,
cry.
This person is great, and I'm so sorry that I fucked them over, kind of thing.
Got it.
Oh,
but in a moment that I was filming that, it was such an opposite situation.
Exactly.
Yeah, heard.
Which I think is a pretty rare situation, like with what we have or you and Harrison have.
Yeah.
It's a rare situation, but I think 90% of the guys out there are going to say, "Oh, he's totally cheating," and he felt bad.
Interesting. That's a hot take. Vince, in your Instagram bio, you have Madison tagged.
I do.
How did that come about?
I did not have an Instagram forever.
Okay.
I basically started my Instagram right when I got single. So I had like a couple followers, a couple of my friends, and I'm like, I honestly don't even know what to put in my bio, so I didn't put anything in my bio. And then I met her. I'm like, honestly, 95% of my life is going on adventures with her. So I was like, yeah, guess that's my life now. And I put, New York City with @Madison Perrott or something. And frankly, to me, outside of my professional life, my personal life is going on adventures with her. So I was like, I do not care at all.
And he won't admit this, but in reality, he was typing my name into Instagram so often that to get to my profile, he just decided to put my name in his thing so he could just click it.
So it was more convenience.
Yeah, but that's, that's the...
That's logistical.
That's logistical.
Logistics.
Yeah. But as a girl, you must feel like a queen that your man put you in his Insta bio.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it because I'm like, duh.
True.
Like, why?
You're like, what are we
like,
doing
why
here?
wouldn't you?
You're like, I know what you do after work every day, and it's me. So.
I'm like, why wouldn't I be like, hello?
Why do you think a lot of men are afraid to share their relationships on Instagram? Because like you guys do the opposite. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think personally, as a more masculine man, I think it's a little girly. And I still even struggle with that from time to time.
Oh, you're full blown now. You're crying on the internet.
Yeah, and I just think it's, I think really that's it.
So it's it feels more feminine.
It feels more feminine to share your feelings.
Which is so annoying, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's my whole message with this whole thing, which is why I wanted to post it to begin with, was like, men just feel, oh, if I show emotion, if I post this girl, if I'm hugging her, there's something wrong with it. And I feel like most men feel that way, even when they do post. Like, I'm sure you think about it in the back of your head, like, oh, if we were younger, like my boys would be making fun of me. It's so dumb. Like,
Yeah.
it's so dumb. And I think there's a line, and especially as girls, like,
Yeah.
there's like sappy and ew, where it's like you get the ick
Yeah.
from them being like that. Or it's like respectful. I feel like a queen. He treats me great. And I think that comes from like, are they a man in the sense of, are they independent? Can they take care of themselves? And are you proud to call them your boyfriend?
Mm-hmm.
That removes the ick.
From a masculine point of view, I view her as like my prize.
Aw.
Like I think she's awesome. I was like, I love hanging around with her. And honestly, you and Harrison post together, and it looks like I look at you guys and it looks the exact same.
He's
as
like,
us.
look at how beautiful, how
Yeah.
smart. Like, I'm
Yeah.
so.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why it's perfectly fine with me.
Okay. No, I do love that. And I like the PDA online, but it has to be genuine.
Yes.
And I feel like you
Yes.
can tell when it's performative or when the girl is like, post that right now.
Yeah,
What I
no,
mean.
for sure. I mean, on TikTok, like, it's crazy in today's world. Like, that there are couples that are in relationships that are making a shit ton of money
And it's
being in
performative.
relationships.
Yes.
And it's performative online. And it's like, I just never want to get to that point. Like, I'm a social media girl. I like filming stuff. I like creating content. And he's a part of my life now.
Yep.
So that's just part of the journey. But I never make you, sometimes I'm like, stand right there. But
Yeah.
And you barely get me for that.
And
And then he's like,
yeah.
"Whoop."
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Once again, you can't tell us what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you guys think, or like how should you celebrate your anniversary? And what kind of gifts should you give each other? Switching it up a
Ooh.
little bit.
Ooh.
Mhm.
Okay.
This is advice.
This is the thing about the two of us. We're bougie as hell.
Okay.
So like when it comes to anniversaries, we want a nice dinner, a nice gift, a hotel, bottle of champagne, private dinner, and then something meaningful. Like I wrote him a song for our anniversary.
Uh-huh.
What did you do again? I forget.
A card?
Well, all right, maybe I'll explain this a little bit better. I think that anniversary gifts should be a celebration of both of you.
Mm.
So for our 1-year anniversary, we went we did like a little staycation weekend in New York.
Okay.
We went to the JW Essex House
Ooh.
Central
in
Park
Central Park.
vibes.
Really.
And like just stay there for the weekend. We had our own little hotel room. We got massages, stayed in robes, got room service. And yes, she did write me a song, and I had nothing to compare to writing her a song. But that was the weekend, and I thought it was super fun.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you guys have any advice for couples, like what to give the girl, what to give the guy?
Yeah,
People ask me this all the time, and I'm like, these two are the perfect person.
You
or
know, yeah.
I think-
perfect people to ask.
this is a great question.
Okay, thank you.
Because, I met her on April 6th, and her birthday was like 50 days later. So, yeah, we moved really fast.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I'm like, okay, I've known this girl less than 2 months. What am I supposed to get her for her birthday?
Mm-hmm.
So
And my birthday is like the Super Bowl. I'm a Gemini. Like it's got to be above and beyond,
So
or get fucked.
I
you know?
I was sitting there like literally Googling, like, what do you get a girl for her birthday if you've only been dating for 2 months? Right? 'Cause I genuinely did not know.
Right.
It was everything from like, buying her flowers to going to Italy, and I just had no idea. But
Ethan.
we ended up,
He booked an entire weekend of
yeah,
activities for
it was
me.
basically just an
Aw.
entire.
He had
weekend of-
Budokan. He had a private sushi dinner. He had, I don't even know, he got me a present, flowers, card. He went above and beyond. And then by the end of the weekend was our first fight.
Yeah,
That's actually some tea.
Oh,
The end of my
sweet.
birthday weekend was our first fight.
yeah.
He had gone above and beyond the whole weekend, and I was such a brat. I was getting my period, so the girls know.
Yeah.
And I was just such a bitch that weekend. I remember
Yes.
I was like nasty. I just was being rude. I was like falling back on how I used to be, which was
Mhm.
not very nice. I could be very mean. Double Gemini. What can I say? And I remember he looked at me and he's like, I did all of this shit for you this weekend for your birthday, and you've been so nasty that I didn't even enjoy it. And you just like really confronted me with it. And I sat there and I was like, you're so right. I'm so sorry. I don't know where that came from. I turned into a brat and I'm such a bitch and I regret everything. And you were so wonderful and I love you and I hope that we can move past this. And he's like, we can. Just fucking chill. How about that?
Aw.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you want the real honest truth,
Honestly, like, that's refreshing.
we got into a big fight at the end of that birthday weekend, and that was 2 months in. He's like, this is 2 months in. I've gone above and beyond for you, and I don't like the way you behaved this weekend, and I'm not going to do this if you're going to be like this. And I was like, heard. And I checked my shit real quick.
Yeah, I feel like when you respect your partner, you do check it pretty quickly, like, especially when they confront you.
Yeah, well, and it's also how they confront you. There was no animosity. There was no gaslighting. He was just like, this is how you made me feel, and I don't want to do this if this is how you're going to act. Yeah. And I was like, sorry.
And then, okay, so girl gifts, though, like, you feel like experiences are good.
I think you have to know their love language.
Yeah.
What is going to make them feel the most loved? Do they want to go on adventures? Do they like gifts? This is a guy who buys everything for himself all the time. So gifts are kind of out.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, he wants a watch, he buys a watch. He wants a new pillowcase, he buys a new pillowcase. If he says it one day, I can't even write it down in a friggin' note app. He'll have it the next day, Amazon delivered to his house.
Yep.
So what I've learned for him, it's experiences that he can't think of or he's not going to plan. Because I'm like an event queen. Like, I will plan an event. That's my favorite thing to do. So for him, like, his birthday's December 14th. I got shit already lined up months in advance. For his birthday last year.
I was kind of thinking I wanted a gift this year, though.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
There's a twist. No, Harrison's is December 13th.
Oh,
you got birthday twins.
And I told you, that's my mom's birthday is the 14th. So I have to split this day with these two assholes who like need the whole day to be for themselves. So anyway, to answer your question, I think you have to know what they like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then as a guy, like, what do you want?
I think the best way to describe it is I want something that I would never even think that I wanted. And I know that sounds
is a tall
like
order.
ridiculous, but she hit it right on the head. Is like, as a guy, you probably just buy yourself everything that you want, you know, whether it's a pair of jeans, a pair of shoes, a hat, you know, like stuff. You probably just end up getting it yourself at some point.
They don't have a list of designer bags that they want, you know?
Right.
I am never going to go and spend the time to plan a trip or an event or go to a show or do something like that. That's me personally. I'm just not going to do that. So for gifts, whether it's anniversary, Christmas, you know, birthdays, whatever it may be, I think that's awesome. Something that I would never go out and do myself. And there's no dollar amount, right? That could be a $5 gift, a $500 gift, whatever.
Be fucking for real.
I'd be pissed if you got me a $5
Yeah, $5. No, let's be real. Wait, so what's your favorite gift that Madison has given you?
I mean, for our anniversary, her writing a song and playing it for me and singing it and playing the guitar to it was that. I mean, that's something I could
Shocker,
never.
He cried. And it's on film.
I love that. I feel like you should teach a course in how to
cry.
How to cry.
He'd rather die.
No, that's where the line is drawn.
Yeah, there are lines, and he is drawing it.
You don't think that the surprise birthday performance too?
Oh, so I mean, this is another one, which I guess is apparently the gift that I really like. For my birthday last year, my 31st birthday, I'm not going to say we because this is all you, but I threw him a freaking surprise birthday that I planned for 3 months. Got a guitar player, went to the Bronx to practice these songs just to surprise him for his birthday. But in classic Sagittarius fashion, he was like, "You're not doing anything for my birthday? Fine, I'll just go get fucked up on my birthday." Let me explain that a little bit better. My birthday was like a Tuesday or whatever. It was during the work week. And I'm in the office and my buddy goes, "Hey man, what are you doing?" And I was like, "You know what? I don't have anything planned for my birthday. Madison didn't do anything. My friends didn't do anything. Like,
this guy's coming to the surprise party 2 hours later that he knows I've planned for months."
So I just go, "You know what? Nothing. I'll leave work right now. What do you want to go do?" So we just went to a bar. We ended up just getting, blacked out drunk for like 4 hours.
Great.
And he goes, "All right, man, I'm going to go now." And I'm like, "Okay." So he just left. Where he was going was to my surprise party.
So he just left you?
He walks in. I go, "Are you fucking kidding? Is he going to be blacked out when he walks in this room?" He's like, "Yeah, probably." He walks. I'm like, "Meet me." He looks at his roommate and he's like, "So we're going to the steak dinner. You think we could cancel it? Like, I don't really want to do this." And Mike's like, freaking out. No, we're going. Don't worry. Like, just wear what you're wearing.
Yeah.
He walks in and I'm like, surprise! There's like a whole ass thing, a friggin' guitar player, all of his friends, and he goes, oh shit.
I couldn't see straight, and I was like, oh my gosh,
no.
Madison's throwing me a surprise party and she's playing music for me.
It was the best night ever, though.
But it was
I mean,
awesome. It was so fun.
We were there all night long. It was
like in a little wine cellar, and it was just like a little mini stage.
so once again, experience.
Yeah.
Like he wouldn't have planned that. He wouldn't have asked for it.
Okay.
I'm never doing it again.
No, I'm taking notes though. Like I'm selfishly asking you these questions because I'm like, I don't know what to get my boyfriend. But okay, so the way I like to end the couples series is, what is your biggest piece of dating advice to people who are still looking for love? And I want you each to answer.
You want to go first?
No.
All right. So I think people try far too hard.
Ooh, okay.
And I don't mean that in the sense of, trying to find the person, but I think the second they meet someone, right? So you go on your first date and you start going through a list. You go, okay, can this person, and I'm going to say this because I have a lot of friends that do this too. Okay, is this person, does she meet my expectations on paper? Does she come from a family I like? Is she in a career that matches with mine? And they just start going through all these things that they want far too much.
Okay.
And I think you just need to be super open, and you just need to just kind of let it flow naturally, and you could just accidentally fall in love.
Yeah.
I think that you should definitely try to find your person out there.
Of course.
But I think people try far too hard on that first date, that first hour. It feels like you're almost in an interview. And like I have friends that go into these first dates where they walk out of them and goes, I don't think she's the one. I'm like, what do you mean you don't think she's the one? And they literally say, well, this. And I'm like, dude, you've known this person for 2 hours and you're saying no because they're not going to be your wife. Like it just doesn't make sense to me.
Yep.
So I think you just need to be super open.
Yeah.
Super open. Try hard to find the person, but be open once you start talking to somebody.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mine is a little different, but kind of similar. I would say my piece of advice is stop overthinking the bare minimum. A ton of my friends, and I had done it myself when I had first started dating after my long-term relationship, was getting into this habit of spinning this wheel in my head of overthinking all of the actions that this guy was making that was the bare minimum of what I should be receiving.
Okay.
And that's having come out of a very strong and loving past relationship. But when you're in that zone of really being into somebody, you just overthink all of the little details. He texted me at this time. He said he wants me to meet his brother. He told me this. He told me that. And it's like, once you're in something that is real and healthy, that's just like, you don't even think about those things. That's just how it works.
Yep.
But when you are in that insecure place, which I feel like every woman is at some point, you just overthink the bare minimum that men will give you, and you spin it into something to make yourself feel like it's going in one direction when it's just not. And you're a queen. Every girl I have ever met is a queen and is worthy of so much love and so much adoration, and to be met at the place that she's willing to give. So stop overthinking these fucking losers.
Yep.
That's my
I mean,
piece of
I
advice.
love it. It's so true. You both
Yeah.
have spoken a lot of truth. Where can people find you and follow you? I feel like people will want to follow your journey.
Yeah, you can.
We'll follow everything on her account. 'Cause
Yeah, she's
yeah.
No, you can find me online, all of the socials, all of the, wherever you get your music, Madison Perrott. And you can find us on TikTok. As he said, he's not going to post us, but if you want to see him crying every once in a while and follow along, just follow us on social media.
Thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
Bye.